Ajaks TulKit. If you want to perform DMLs or SQLs straight away from JavaScript, then we go for Ajaks TulKit. It is asynchronous operation. This will be useful to you only when you want to work with a small amount of data, maybe maximum 200 records and up to 6 fields with 50 characters of data each. Right. So 200 records, maximum how many records we can fetch? 200 records. Maximum how many records we can fetch? 200 records with 5 fields. Maximum 5 fields, 200 records. Sorry, 6 fields, 200 records, and it will have 50 characters. Every field should not have more than 50 character data. Okay. Next one. Internally, it is a SOAP API call. Internally, what is this? SOAP API call. Internally, it is a SOAP API call. So generally, when you want to get a small amount of data, maximum of 6 fields per record, with each field containing maximum 50 characters of data, we can go with this Ajaks TulKit. If you want to use this Ajaks TulKit, we are supposed to include JavaScript file, external JavaScript file, which is called connection.js. If you want Ajaks TulKit to be included in your, Visual Force, then we are supposed to go with adding connection.js file. Adding connection.js file. Now, what is the file? If you want to include Ajaks TulKit, we are supposed to go for including connection.js file. So let us see this example, everyone. What is the file we are supposed to include? Connection.js. If you want to include Ajaks TulKit in the Visual Force, we are supposed to include a file called salesforce.com/soap/Ajaks/ version number of the Salesforce/connection.js. Salesforce.com/Ajaks, Salesforce.com/soap/Ajaks/ version number of your Salesforce/connection.js file. This is the file which you are supposed to include. It is a SOAP API web service. Internally, what type of web service is this? SOAP API web service. Internally, it is a SOAP API web service. Now, if you are making a web service call from JavaScript to Salesforce, then Salesforce will ask you, what is the session ID? I cannot allow you to access the data, prove your authentication. If you are making a call from JavaScript to the Salesforce, it will ask you, boss, I will not be able to allow you to connect to database, prove your authentication. When you prove your authentication, then only I will be able to access the data. Then how can you prove the authentication? Look at the format. sforce.connection.session ID. sforce.connection.session ID equal to get session ID. What is that get session ID? Current user. You already logged in, right? When you logged in, you will have a session ID. Because you already logged in, you will have a session ID. Whatever the session ID the current user has got, that we are passing. Now, look at this. Alert. Save it. Review. What is it? Session ID is SN. The current user who logged in, pass his session ID. The current user who logged in, pass his session ID. Boss, I am not interested in connecting to my account. I want to log in as specific user. I am not interested in connecting to my account. I want to connect to another Salesforce account, or I want to log in as a different user. Now get session ID means current user who logged in, his session ID is passed. I don't want to log in as the current user. I want to connect to the database as a specific user. So what I will do? Look at this. S4 dot connection dot login. Your result equal to S4 dot connection dot login dev@316.com / okay. Now I don't want to connect to my organization, or I don't want to log in as the current user. I want to log in as specific user, or I want to connect to a particular organization. Then we need to use S4 dot connection dot login. S4 dot connection dot login. I have to pass my username password. If IP address is not in the whitelist, then I have to pass password plus security token. Are you getting my point? So S4 dot connection dot login. S4 dot connection dot login. S4 dot connection dot login. Then I'm giving here. Now to which organization I'm connecting? DEV 316. What we received here? Go back. We received the session ID of DEV 316. Now it is your choice whether you want to connect to the current organization or you want to connect to the some other organization. If you want to connect to the current organization, as you already logged in, you will have a session ID. So use get session ID and work on it. No, I don't want to connect with the current organization. I want to connect with a particular Salesforce account. Then use their username, password. If my IP address is not whitelisted, then password plus security token. If it is whitelisted, only password. I hope you are clear. Okay. So once you have created session ID, once you have created a session ID, what you want to do? You want to write a SQL query. So what is the first thing we need to do, boss? Give command button value equal to apex look at this example. Function. So when you click on the button, show function is called. Then here, what is the first thing we need to do? S4 dot connection dot equal to get session ID. Then what I am doing? I want to write a query where query equal to, in the JavaScript I can use double quotes or single quotes. First thing, select ID comma name from account where industry equal to energy. Now what did I do? Select ID comma name from account where industry equal to. Then I want to execute this query. How can I execute this query? Where query result equal to S4 dot connection dot S4 dot connection dot query. What I'm giving? sports dot connection dot query, sports dot connection dot query, sports dot connection dot query. What is the query I wrote? Then let us print the result. sports dot connection dot session id, sports dot connection dot login, sports dot connection dot query, sports dot connection dot session id, sports dot connection dot login, sports dot connection dot query. Right, boss? Have a preview. We got the result here. If you look at the result, this is the result what I received. In the result, where are my records? My records are given with the name of, what is the name of this? The records are having records. What is this? When you make a sports dot connection dot query, result will be coming to you as a JSN. How the result is coming? JSN. What is a JSN? JavaScript object notation. It is going to be in the form of name value. When you write Ajaks TulKit, if you use, the result will be coming in the form of what? JSN, JavaScript object notation. The result will be coming to you in the form of JavaScript object notation. Where it is going to be in the form of name value pair. What is the name? Query locator. What is the value? Null. What is the name? Done. What is the value? True. What is the name? Records. What is the value? Array of these records. Are you getting my point here? So, when you use Ajaks TulKit, result will be coming to you in the form of JSN. When I say JSN, it is going to be in the form of name value pair. It is going to be in the form of name value pair. So, with what name result is coming? With what name records are coming? Records. The name is what? Records. With the name of record, if you say record, list of records will come. Now, how the JSON is having? Name is record, value is list of records. That is the reason I am giving here. From JSON result, I want to take only records. JSON result has a lot of data. From that, I want only records. Where my list equal to query result dot get array of from the JSON we are getting only records. Let us see now. We got the data. Let us see this data now. So what is that? Only this data we received, right? When you say query result, entire thing we received. Now when I say query result dot get array of record, only we received these records. Right, boss? Only that records we received. I hope you are good. Clear for everyone? Okay. Now, once I receive these records, what I want to do? Take one by one record. How do you take? For where I equal to 0, I is less than mileage dot size. In the JavaScript, size is given by length. In the Apex program, we say dot size. Here we will be using dot length. Then I am giving result equal to C plus what is that? My list of I dot name. Then I am giving it document dot get element by ID page form so go back here. We received the list of records. I hope you are good with this. People have got it. So what did I do in this case? I wrote a SQL query. I brought the result. Whatever the result I got, I was displaying it. So from the JavaScript, we are writing a SQL query and fetching the data, displaying in the VF page. I hope you are good with this. Look at the code. Anyone has any query in this? Let me know. So here I'll give. When we write a SQL query, get the response in the form of JSON. We get the response in the form of JSON. Then from the JSON, get the value of then take one by one name and we are performing the operation. Look at this code. Anyone has any query? Let me know. Look at the code. Anyone has any query? Let me know. Anybody has any query on that? Let me know. Go through the code. Anyone has any query on this? Let me know. Any query? People are good? Okay. Let us make a dynamic SQL query then. Let us go to the next example. People are good? Right, boss? Followed or not followed? No response. Okay. Then I have a requirement of taking a DML operation. I wrote a SQL query, I got the data. But what I want to do is, I want to make a DML operation. How can you make a DML operation? How can you make a DML operation? So let us give a quick example here. But generally, if you want to make a DML, what will you do? If you want to make a DML, what will you do? How will you create a data? If you want to make a DML, we say it account ACC equal to, right? Same thing in Ajax TulKit we create as where ACC equal to new You create account ACC equal to new account. Same statement in the Ajax toolkit we write as where ACC equal to new S force dot S object, S capital O capital S object. Here we give ACC dot name. Here also we give. Rest of the statements are same. But here again, insert. Here I was supposed to use where result equal to S force dot. Here what I was supposed to do. Create array S force dot connection dot create. There I say insert. Here I am going to say S force dot connection dot create. There we say insert. Here we are going to say S force dot connection dot create. S force dot connection dot create. There we say insert ACC. Here we say S force dot connection dot create. Are you clear about this? Let us do one more time. So how you write it? Give insert contacts equal to this is what we have created. Are you clear about it? Same story I am creating. So when you want to make a call, we are supposed to go with this. Set the data, get the data, this is all common. Okay. So what was the format of creating S force dot connection dot query? Then we are getting S force dot connection dot query all. Now we get, let's not get into this. What was that? S force dot S object. How are you creating? S force dot connection dot S force dot connection dot create. 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 So let me create this example here. Then what is the first thing we are supposed to do? S force dot connection dot. Then I am creating here apex Then we are reading the value where name equal to document dot get is how I create. Then what I'm doing, where ACC equal to account, AC dot name equal to where create. I hope you are good with this. Then I want to give the confirmation. This is how we got. So look at the code. Any query from your end? So we had whatever the name you entered, phone number we entered, rating we entered, we read the value, we are trying to create an account record. Right? Only the syntax format is different. Otherwise, what is the operation? Assigning the value, creating a record. I told acc.name, acc.phone, acc.rating. Then sports.connection.create accounts. Go for a preview. Submit. Look at any path is missing. Page. Form. Result. Want to complete, call sports.connection.session ID, get session ID. Okay, let me print the values first. I'm making a unit testing. Right, go back. I think while explaining custom settings, I gave some validation rule, I guess, right? No validations. Any triggers running on this? Apex example 14. Anybody has deleted the other triggers? Okay. Go back to the preview. So let me show this message. What is the mistake here? What is that? What was that? The method itself is not getting called. The method itself is not getting called. Whatever the method I wrote, the method itself is not getting called. So, alert. Tell me what is the possibility of error there. Look at the code. S4 dot connection dot session ID. And on complete only. Okay. Let us check out the functionality once again. Method is not getting called. Check why the method is not getting called. The method itself is not getting called. Let me copy paste the code again. Action dot session ID. There's a bug from here. What was that? Sports dot connection dot session ID. Okay. Then what is the next one we have done? Where name equal to document dot get element by ID, page form name. Just cross check whether we made any changes in the previous program. Go back to this. We received as an example hot. Okay. The previously, as the method is not invoked, the log also not open. Let me cross check this log also. Is this example, right? Okay. Now, just like system.debug, we write console.log. You write system.debug, here we write console.log. Okay. Then what is our requirement? Where ACC equal to new source dot subject. Then where you can put it directly, where result equal to source dot connection dot create. Then document dot get element. Then we have page form. This is how we create. Submit. When you click on submit, still not going. Was the bug boss. Same thing we applied. So we'll try to put ACC. It doesn't make a difference actually, both are same. Then let me put it console.log. The case sensitive somewhere. If you missed out the case sensitive, we may have the issue. Let us cross check. This is the bug here. I gave extra braces there. Extra braces I give there. With the same thing, if you use Apex or Visual Force, by now we might have got output, right? Because the compilation error will give you the following things are missing.
Yes.
Come again? Line number 16. Yeah. Okay. Now let us go back. Implement the functionality again. Example. Submit. Now we received the record ID. Okay. Now before that, let us check it out. What is the mistake we have made compared to the previous code? In the previous code also we gave S4. Okay. Basically in the previous code, for some reason, the functionality was not invoked. The functionality itself is not invoked in the previous case. So this is the code what we have given. Any changes we made in the code, maybe a case sensitiveness we have removed it. But if you look at the code, functionality was everything the same what we had done. I wrote sports.connection.session ID, ID of the user, get the name, get the phone number, get the rating. Then we told create sports.sObject, name, phone, rating equal to corresponding values, sports.connection.create the corresponding record. I hope you are good with this. Right. This is what we are doing. We are trying to perform a DML operation. We are making a DML operation. The same thing if you want to perform an update operation. If you want to perform an update, what should I do? What should I do? Get the record, write a query, get the record, modify the records, update it. So let us see how to make an update operation. The story is the same. What I was doing, look at the coding. Then first let me print alert. We give Apex form. Right. Then let us cross check one by one line. We already delayed the previous program. Let me do the unit testing and run it. Session ID will not be printed actually. Then we need to give alert. Okay. Console.log. From 42.0 version onwards, they avoided printing session IDs. The Salesforce session IDs cannot be printed. From 42.0 or 41.0, they avoided printing the session IDs for the security reasons. What we got here? Session ID. We'll go back to the next one. We are going with fetching the data where query equal to then where query result s4 dot function dot query result dot array of get the records. We'll take one by one record. For then I'm taking here s object acc dot id equal to then we want to make an update. How do you make an update? Where result equal to s4 dot connection dot document dot by id. What is the value we have? Page form res. Is what I give. Meanwhile, let me create some consoles. So when I click on the button, get the records which are created today, update the rating as what? Go for a preview. Console ID. Okay, rating equal hot. Server error. What was the bug here? Rating equal to hot. Type undefined ID equal to rating equal to hot. That was the mistake here. You got the ID of the record updated. Which record is updated? This record is. Now I wrote a query. I fetched the records which are created today. Updated those records with a rating equal to hot. Right, boss? I hope you are clear with this. Similarly, how do you perform s4 dot connection dot delete, s4 dot connection dot undelete, s4 dot connection dot upset? Functionality is going to be same, right? s4 dot connection dot update. Similarly, s4 dot connection dot delete IDs, s4 dot connection dot delete IDs. Same query I am going to write here. One more time I am giving. Then I am going to give delete IDs. So what I am going to do? Write a SQL query, fetch the records, get the ID of the records, delete IDs. Now I want to give one button here. What is the extra bracket here? We wrote extra bracket. Additional param, okay, braces we got there. Just remove it. What was that? The following record was successfully. Go back and try to open the same record. Right, boss? So what was that? We are able to perform the DML operation from the JavaScript by using what? S4's Ajaks TulKit. By using what? Ajaks TulKit. So if you want to write a query, s4's dot connection dot session ID. Okay, s4's dot connection dot login, s4's dot connection dot create, s4's dot connection dot update, s4's dot connection dot update. Then s4's dot connection dot delete, s4's dot connection dot undelete, s4's dot connection dot xyz. So we are able to perform the operations here. We are able to perform the operation. I hope you are clear with this. Now we are able to perform DML operations. We are able to perform SQL queries by using Ajaks TulKit. What is the advantage of this? This data what we are fetching using Ajaks TulKit, this will not be there in the view state. Why? We are not making a call to the server side by using VF and Apex. If you are making from VF to Apex, data will come to view state. From there we will be using. But here it is going to run like a asynchronous web service call. From JavaScript, if you are using Ajaks TulKit, it is going to run like a asynchronous web service call. It is going to run as asynchronous web service call. That is the reason whatever the data we are fetching here by using a SQL and DML, that is not stored to DML. That is not stored to view state. So the performance will be increased. But what is the disadvantage of this? It can work with only smaller set of data. It cannot work with larger set of data. It can work with only small set of data. I hope you are good. Clear? Right? So it is going to run like asynchronous call, independent call. It's like a web service call. It is, we are making literally a web service call from JavaScript. It is going to make a web service call from a JavaScript. It is going to make a web service call from JavaScript, which is going to run independent from the page. Are you clear about this? Am I clear? SQLs and DMLs are executed from VF page JavaScript. From JavaScript, we are making a DML and SQLs by using Ajaks TulKit, where Ajaks TulKit is a SOAP API web service call. Ajaks TulKit is internally a SOAP API web service call. Ajaks TulKit is internally a SOAP API web service call. I hope you are good with this. Okay. Now, let me finish one more small topic. With that, we'll be winding the session. That is a remote action. Now, listen to the point. Whatever the calls that we are making, if you want to make a web service call, look at the point. If you are making a call to the web service, if you are making a call to the Apex class method should not contain any parameters. Am I right? Any Apex class method we call, it should not contain any parameters. No parameters are accepted. Am I right? Right. Now look at the format. We stored this. Listen to the point, boss. It has just give me 1 minute. Let me show you the theoretical function. I just want to skip off the theory. Salesforce documents are not opening. Just trying to avoid the theoretical information. Good, right. So look at this. Now, what is the purpose of going for a remote action? I'll just give this. You can look at the theory from here. Remote action. How can you make a method as a remote action? If you define any method as @ of remote action, then this method becomes a remote action method. What is the advantage of this remote action method? This remote action method can be called directly from the JavaScript. Now, previously we have done action function. Right? What did I do? Apex action function. I gave some example called fun action equal to so. I gave public void. Now, if you want to call this show function in the JavaScript, what I told? Function invoke. In the function invoke, I call fun. I call fun. When you call a fun called show. Am I right? From JavaScript, if you want to call Apex class method, previous concept what we have seen is action function I created. I call action function from the JavaScript. That JavaScript called action function called Apex class method. This is what we have done in the previous case, right? But now I don't want to call this. I want to call directly show method. This is our requirement actually. Previously, we also called Apex class method. How did we call? Directly we didn't call. We created action function. Action function is calling Apex class method. But now my requirement is directly how to call Apex class method is the requirement. Then we define the method as what? At the rate of. If we define a method as a remote action, directly we can call the method within the JavaScript. Then if you want to define at the rate of remote action, it should be static. It can return any type of value. It can have parameters. Generally, if you call any method using action function, action support, method will not have any return type. Method will not have any parameters. But if you define a remote action can have parameters. Remote action can have return type. So look at the theoretical information now. If you want to define a remote action, method should be defined as at the rate of remote action. Then method should be what? Static. Method should be static. It can have any return type. It can take any parameters. It can have any return type. It can take any parameters. It can have any return type. It can have any parameters. I hope you are good. I hope you are good with this. Okay. Now, how do you call this? How do you call this? If you want to call this, we are supposed to take here. How to call the remote action? If you want to call the remote action, the format is class name dot method name parameters comma function comma. This is how we are going to call. So what is our case? Class is example, method is show. I was supposed to pass some parameter. Then function. Whatever the logic you want to write, that we write here. Result is whatever the method is giving you, that is result. Event is success or failure or exception, whatever it is, that will be event. Are you getting my point? Right. Once again, let me quickly move it. So how do you define at the rate of remote? Method should be passing a parameter. Right. Till here, anyone has any issue? Method is simply given with at the rate of remote action. Method is given with a simple at the rate of remote action. Method is given with at the rate of remote action. Then we have static, return type, parameters. This is the method what I have. This method I want to call from Visual Force page. So I'm writing a script. So I'm giving here function. So from the function show, I want to call Apex class. Remote example dot. What is the name of the method? Then I'm giving function result comma class name dot method name. I told logic should be defined here. What is your logic? Whatever the result we are getting, form. So what I'm doing, class name dot method name, it is expecting a parameter, I gave a parameter, it is going to give me a result. So function result comma event. What is that result? The output what we got from the method. Go for a preview. Your name is Satish, right? I hope you are good with this. So we are calling class name dot method name. From JavaScript directly we can call a method. Which method we can call? If it is a remote action method. If a method is defined as a remote action, if the method is defined as a remote action, we can call that method directly from the script. Are you getting my point? Are you getting my point? So when can you define a method? At the rate of remote action, static, return type can be there, parameters can be there. What is the difference between this call and a Visual Force call? In the Visual Force, if you are calling any method from Apex class, no return type other than void and page reference, no parameters. But from the remote action, if I am calling, I can call a method which has a parameters, which has a return type. That is the advantage. This method will run asynchronously. This method will run asynchronously because from JavaScript, when you make a call to Apex class or server, it is asynchronous operation. From a JavaScript, if I make a call to Apex class or a database, it is asynchronous. Now, any method which is defined as remote action can be called directly in the Visual Force page, JavaScript. How can you call? Class name dot method name, parameters, function result comma event. Right, boss? Remote action can have parameters, remote action can have return type, which is not possible in the Visual Force. If I want to call a method from Visual Force, no parameters, no return type. But if I define a method as remote action, it can have parameters, return type. I can call this from JavaScript. When I am calling from JavaScript, it is asynchronous call. I hope you are good. Right, boss? Okay. Now,